What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 211. And this is what's going to be my coronation ceremony, I suppose, because I won. Yay!
Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, man. I'm happy to have this back in technically in my possession or whatever. Um, Happy to get my name back on this thing, and it was a hell of a matchup. The final score really doesn't show exactly how much I was sweating, but it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun this year. I'm surprised it's this group with all these Braves that gets it done for me, but here we are.
Yeah. They were terrible in the beginning, but they were hot when it mattered for you. So that's what matters.
Yeah, man, they were fantastic for me down the stretch, and especially in the second half. Michael Harris had a big second half and saved his
Mm.
season.
Yeah.
Um, and you know what? Mookie Betts had a really big second half as well because he certainly put together a good season despite the first half woes that were maybe because of that sickness in spring training.
Yeah, maybe it took him longer to recover than we thought, but ultimately you're back on the trophy. So it all worked out for you.
Fifth championship. I just ordered my championship prize for myself. I got a Freddie Freeman NL All Star jersey because he's number 5.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So
Yep.
there you go.
And he led you to it.
And
So
he was absolutely on the team. I wasn't going to get anything from the Braves, that's for damn sure. I wasn't going to get an Acuna jersey or something. That'd be ridiculous.
Ew, no.
No. All right, let's dive into this thing. Let's talk about it, and let's talk about some end of year fun stuff because we are going to talk about a bunch of end of year records that may or may not have been set this year.
Awesome.
So let's dive into this thing. It ends up as a blowout. It's a 15-2 victory for me. And it wasn't really ever all that close. I mean, after I guess Monday and Tuesday, it was a little bit close, but 13-5, 15-4, 16-3. People were telling me to celebrate as early as Thursday, man.
Yeah, I mean, you can never count out Josh, obviously. So
Mhm.
I get wanting to, hold off the champagne popping, but yeah, this was just another crushing defeat for you. You pretty much just broke the playoffs.
Yeah. 13-6 over Jimmy, 16-2 over Ben, and now 15-2 over Josh here. It is the largest margin of victory in finals history. So I get that record as well. On Sunday, Josh tied runs and I flipped innings pitched. It was 16-3 going in, 15-2 coming out. Close categories. Josh wins by 2 home runs given up by a pitcher. I win by 2 doubles, 3 homers, an error, and a save. And we tied in runs, triples, losses, and relief appearances. Because 2 weeks in a row, I have to tie relief appearances in the playoffs. Go figure.
Yeah, with 19, and each of you left one on the bench, which is interesting too.
Yeah, I mean, mine nobody saw coming, though.
No, no, absolutely not.
No, on my bench this week, I go 1 for 11 with a run that would have won the category, a walk, and 2 strikeouts, and indeed a random relief appearance from Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah. What? And then he goes ahead and starts on Sunday anyway.
And
Yeah.
he was fantastic on Sunday.
Yes, he did. He was amazing.
He
That's
was
that was
fantastic
that was
on
a swan
Sunday.
song.
Yeah, that was it. I knew that this was going to be obviously going to be his last 2 starts of the season. One was going to be in Dodger Stadium. I couldn't imagine that was going to be bad. It wasn't. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. And then
Yep.
this here against the Seattle Mariners on Sunday, he was fantastic.
Yeah, sandwiched around a random relief appearance.
Yeah. 10 moves this week for me. I started with Hurst and Waldrop, a 6 inning win, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, and 1 earned run against Washington. Robert Garcia for a clean 2 inning relief appearance and the win. I should have dropped him at that point because he kind of fucked things up for me and made things a little bit close. Roki Sasaki for a clean relief appearance. Hogan Harris for a clean 5-out relief appearance. Tanner Banks for a clean relief appearance. Mark Leiter Jr., who did not pitch. I was kind of hoping he would come in. And then I had a roster crunch, and he was the guy who had to go.
Okay.
Joey Lucchesi, who never pitched for me either. Nolan Shanuel, who was 0 for 4 the day Freddie had off after they clinched the NL West. Connolly early 5 inning loss, a walk, 7 strikeouts, 2 earned runs against Detroit. And Edward Cabrera on Sunday against our Mets, 5 inning win, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts, and nothing earned because our Mets free fell into obscurity and lost out on the playoffs this year, man.
Yep, they all had their vacations booked for October and didn't want to cancel their plans. That's what happened.
It's just a shame, man. We had such a really bright season starting off for us in the first 2.5 months, and
They
everything went in reverse after that.
they were the best team in baseball, but you know what? The old saying goes, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, and they did not finish in the right way. That's all. It's simple as it gets.
Absolutely. For my MVP this week, it goes to Freddie Freeman. 400 with the 526 on base percentage, 5 runs, 3 homers, 5 RBIs, a steal, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. With a shout out to Michael Harris, who had 3 homers, 6 RBIs, and 4 stolen bases. He was very good this week as well.
Bunu was good. Like, yeah, there was some good stuff happening. Drake Baldwin was good. Like we said, these Braves kind of came to play this week.
Yeah, I hit 274 with a 373 on base percentage. I was hitting over 300 for most of the week. I took a really nasty offensive Sunday to lower it down to 274, but I mean, Josh hit 184, so I had no competition in the category.
Yeah, you could have done a lot less than what you did and been fine.
Yeah, no doubt. So therefore, the least valuable hitter is nobody. The
Yeah,
site, I can't find a bad at bat on this team.
I mean, even Profar, who hit 100, he hit 100, but he walked 7 times and had a 357 on base. Like, that helps. So,
Yeah,
like, yeah, everybody did something. I mean, Dansby Swanson had the error, but that didn't matter.
yeah,
Like,
he still had 2 stolen bases and a homer and 3 walks. I mean, he was
yeah,
fine. He was
yeah,
just fine for what I needed him to do.
yeah. So it really was. There's really not a bad apple in this lineup this
No.
week.
The Cy Young this week does indeed go to Logan Webb, and he was my Cy Young all season. He
Yeah.
led the National League in innings and strikeouts. I will take a bow on that. I had him very much breaking out this year. He's been fantastic for the last few years, and here it is.
6 rounder.
Sixth rounder. Yeah, I waited until the 6th round to get my pitcher, and here it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done.
This week, 11 and a third, a win, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts, a 238 and a 115. The Cy Young this week also goes to nobody because again, 266 with a 113, 7 wins and 64 and a third innings.
Yeah, I mean, like, and weird lines. Nolan McLean had a really weird line. We knew we saw that. Up close and personal. 5 1/3
Mhm.
with a win, 11 strikeouts, but an 8.44 ERA. Same with Yuri Perez. Wasn't a great start. He got a loss, but he struck out 11. So even the guys who didn't do well for you still did well for you.
Yeah, it was a really interesting final week of the season on the pitching side. Jose Ferrer takes a loss but gives me 2 saves, and the 2 saves wins me the category. So I can't get mad at him for the loss and the earned run that he gave up. It is what it is. Like I blew this guy out, and I can't find a bad spot to pick here.
Yeah, I mean Robert Garcia took a loss, but he also gave you that win. So like, yeah,
That loss actually was the interesting walk-off hit by pitch that he
yes.
gave up to the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, that was when they clinched it off of a walk-off hit by pitch.
Yeah. Yeah. On that ridiculous comeback in 15 and a half games over a month or whatever it was.
They were the mirror of the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here's the thing, the collapse of the Detroit Tigers would be even bigger than the Mets collapse if not for the fact that they made the playoffs as the third wild card.
Right. They still made it.
Yeah.
So and like not for nothing, but like Cleveland played well enough, like played so well that they got back into it. Like Cincinnati did not play well.
No.
Like the
No.
Mets just beat themselves and said, "Here, Cincinnati, here." have fun in the playoffs.
And the Brewers gave us the opportunity on the final day to win a
Hmm.
baseball game and get into the playoffs, and we couldn't do it. Like the
Yep.
offense just did not come to hit. And
No,
you can't win a baseball game if you don't score runs. We didn't score on the final Sunday. That's all it boils down to.
exactly.
For Josh on his bench this week, now that we've digressed that far, he went 8 for 27. That's a 296 batting average, 4 runs that would have won the category, 4 doubles that would have won the category, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, and a relief appearance. The 4 doubles all come from Brendan Donovan on Tuesday, who was out of the lineup up until game time. And then
Yeah.
they put him in, and he went 4 for 5 with 4 doubles.
Like you can't do anything about that.
No, no, that's just a shot in the arm that you have to take right there. That
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you have, and he tried to. We said it last week. He tried to counter your Braves by bringing on Ha-Seong Kim,
Mm-hmm.
and that did not work.
No, Ha-Seong Kim was not very good this week as trying to counteract the Braves offense. He hit 087 this week. That's not very good at all.
No.
The relief appearance comes from Luke Jackson on Sunday. I think he was just overstacked with dudes that he thought was going to get in, and
Yep.
this was the guy who had to eat the bench.
This might be the time to ask it. So I had this question as somebody who's never really been in the finals,
Mhm.
and only just kind of seeing it from the out, from the outside in. Is there What's the thought of having the finals be on the final week of the season when you're dealing with, you know, guys being pulled because their team clinched or their team's eliminated or, like,
Mhm.
things of that nature, shutting guys down, early. Like, is there, I guess that plays into the strategy and the
Mhm.
difficulty that is rewarded by winning the championship, but is it as frustrating as I think it is?
I mean, it wasn't frustrating for me this year, obviously, with the score being what it was.
Sure.
However, in years past, we have run into things that have been very interesting. Ben getting Jared Weaver thrown out of a game in the first inning
I
during
remember
the finals, like
that.
that's huge. Um, and yeah, things of that nature do happen. We lost I lost Max Muncy for 3 days because he had a lower body injury. Sure,
Right,
he did, but he's
right.
going to be fine for tomorrow.
Exactly. So the Dodgers are just going to shut him down and rest him for the
Mhm.
playoffs. I mean, and that's so a lot of teams are doing that, or
Yeah.
they're shutting them down because they're out of it, and why bother? Like so, it has to make trying to field a fantasy roster, a little bit more difficult.
That's why I added Nolan Schanuel the day after the Dodgers clinched. They sat Mookie, Muncy, and Betts. Like, what am I going to do?
Right,
Isak
right.
Paredes becomes the third baseman. Betts, I hope he pinch hits, and Shanuel's in for Freeman. Like that's the plan there. But like there is a bit to the final week of the season and trying to strategize who's going to be playing for something and who's not.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, at least for me, with the strategy of drafting multiple teams, I'm trying to find teams that will be playing their guys at least close to the end of the season in case I'm here.
yeah.
Braves did not do that at all, but yet still were playing for something at the end of the season. They played all their guys.
Yeah, and this is when they played their best ball.
Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if maybe it made sense like to up the ad limit for the final week because there's so much more so much volatility, but
Mhm.
or maybe it
Or
makes it
shorten the regular season is the thought there. You make it 21
right.
weeks and 3 weeks for the playoffs, and you would end up ending in week 24 before most of the teams have clinched and all of this madness happens.
Right, before the real shutdown starts.
It's
Yeah.
an interesting thought and something that we would probably pitch to the league. Guys, what do you think? Shorten the season and make it 1 week shorter? I don't know. I mean, it's only for 2 guys. That's the thing.
Right, right. Or do you just leave it as is and say, look, this is what a championship is about. You got to be
You got to
strategic about it.
Yeah.
Or, do you maybe increase it to 12 ads for the 1 week because
Mhm.
there's so much going on that maybe you need an extra ad or two to counteract not having Freddie Freeman for a couple of days or whatever it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah. I don't know what the correct answer is, but the guys will have to weigh in, and I want to hear from each and every one of them. For Josh's moves this week, he added Gordon Graceffo, who was absolutely terrible. Gabe Spire, who gave a clean relief appearance, and a win. Tyler Wells, 4 inning loss, a home run, a walk, 4 strikeouts, and 3 earned against Tampa. Harrison Bader over 5 with 2 strikeouts on the night. The Phillies had 8 homers and won 11-1. Thank you, Harrison Bader. Your
Yeah.
haircut is not terrible.
It's like the only guy who didn't do anything. They hit 8 home runs, and this guy goes 0 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Been on a heater for the whole month of September,
Mm-hmm.
except for that game.
Except for that game, except for this week. I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Yep.
Braden Fisher for a terrible relief appearance. Edmundo Sosa over 3. Trevor, that was the day after he hit 3 home runs, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. So he
Yep.
goes over 3 the next day because, of course, he does.
Uh-huh.
Trevor McDonald had a farm and he went 7 innings, a win, 10 strikeouts, 3 earned runs against Colorado. I thought it was a great idea. Matt
Never even heard of the
Gage.
guy. Never heard of
No,
the
me
guy,
either.
but it worked.
Yeah, it was absolutely the right move.
Yeah.
He added Matt Gage, who did not pitch. Jonathan Aranda on the final day went 2 for 5 with a run, 3 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts, and added Luis Garcia Jr. 0 for 3. His MVP this week goes to Kyle Schwarber, who's been MVP worthy of the season. I mean, 56 homers, over 100 RBIs, over 100 runs scored. I think he has over 100 walks this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who wins it. I think the finalists are gonna be him and Shohei and Soto. Um,
Mhm.
all of them are deserving, I think.
Absolutely. For this week, Schwarber goes 217 with a 308 on base. 4 runs, a double, 3 homers, 3 RBIs, 3 walks. He did hit strikeout 12 times. Again, Josh's offense just did not come to play this week, and it's really unfortunate. I would have liked to have sweat a little bit more than I did on Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, his offense kind of did what the Mets did and just
Mm-hmm.
didn't show up.
Yep. Ha-Sung Kim is the least valuable hitter, 087 with a 160 on base, 2 runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Did not contribute a damn thing. Luis Garcia Jr. didn't do anything. Noel V. Marte hit 118. Soto hit 174.
Yeah, Pie
Torkelson hit 158.
has a 125.
Yeah,
Yeah, not a good week.
no, not a good week at all. Framber Valdez is the Cy Young this week for this team. He's off the team because he had to create roster space. 7 innings, a win, a homer, 2 walks, 10 strikeouts, a 129 and a 129. The Cy Young goes to Gordon Graceffo. Again, he was absolutely atrocious. Third of an inning, a walk, a strikeout, a 135 ERA, and a 15 whip. ERA was fairly close, and so was whip going into Sunday, but I ended up throwing, I think, 18 and 2/3 shutout innings on Sunday to make it look as ugly as it does. Graceffo certainly cost him that particular stat.
Yeah, here's your Sunday. 18 and 2/3, 3 wins, 9 walks, 24 strikeouts, nothing earned in a 107 whip with 3 relief appearances.
Yeah, man. Sundays have been really kind to me this year. This week, it just happened to be on the pitching side where I just crushed it.
Yeah. And all Josh could do was throw 2 innings.
Mm-hmm. But it was enough to tie relief appearances. It was enough to give him that.
Yeah, yeah, he tied that. He tied the runs.
Mm-hmm.
Um, look, I said it in the chat, and I'll say it here. Like Josh, I really hope Josh is not hanging his head. Like he had another fantastic season, another finals appearance. Um, he just ran into you.
This one is special for me, especially because of the way I won. Right in 2021, Ben Nisman bounced me out in the semifinals. In 2022, Jimmy bounced me out in the semifinals on the way to a championship. 2023, Josh Haber bounced me out on the way to his first final and losing to his brother, and then did it again the following year on his way to his first championship. So I mean, here we are. After all of this, I have to take out Jimmy, Ben, and Josh. It's the best kind of story I could have asked for. I am honored and thrilled to be a 5-time champion of this league. And I hope that I'm ready to defend this thing next year because I know there are a lot of hungry dudes who either missed out or missed, a stat or two here or there and are kicking themselves this year. I had been saying all along that this year was incredibly competitive and that even making the playoffs was something to hang your hat on. Winning a championship this year is beyond what I thought this team was capable of and beyond what I thought I was going to do this year. So I am incredibly humbled and incredibly thrilled.
Look, and Ben has said it many times. The roster is part of it, the manager is part of it, and when you have those two things together, it's pretty formidable. And
Yeah.
you had a good enough roster. We know how savvy you are as a manager, and it worked.
Thanks, man. It was a lot of fun. And speaking of Ben, he ends up getting the third place trophy this week. Am I breaking up?
A little bit, yep.
No, I'm okay. A little bit. Ben gets the third place trophy this week and takes down Henry Collins 12-8. Congratulations, Ben and Henry, on some great seasons this year. Haber does wrap up the consolation bracket, so that's fun.
Yeah, good job on him. I see. I told him that the consolation bracket meant something.
It does mean something. It means something to the guys who are in it, and it's important that we have it.
Yes, agreed.
Let's talk about the records that were set this year, my friend. I just updated the record book, taking a look at all of the statistics and what everyone did. Best I have the best and the worst of each statistic, along with the best and worst record in each statistic.
Okay.
So Henry Collins led the way in runs scored. He had 850. It's not a record this year. It's actually 75 short of a record. Mike
Wow.
Haber set that back in 2019. Something special was going on with the ball back in 2019, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. Okay.
So that is what it is. The fewest runs were Ben Nisman. He had 670, also not a record, but a real interesting team to finish with the fewest runs scored.
Right, to make as far as he did with the fewest runs scored. Uh, so you have the most runs scored and the fewest runs scored both as playoff teams.
Yeah. Ben also had the fewest doubles in the league this year at 230, with Mike Sherman leading the way with 288.
Okay.
All right. Jason, you led the way in triples,
Woo!
41. It was only 8 shy of the record.
I'll have to try next year.
Yeah. Go ahead and draft Corbin Carroll again and see
Corbin
what
Carroll.
happens.
Yep. Yep.
That record of 49 was set only 2 years ago by Bobby Russo.
Okay.
So that is what it is. Brian Lebo only had 8 triples this year. He finished it with the fewest. That is not the fewest in history. That belongs to me. Last year, I only had 6. On the home runs, Josh Haber led the way, 263 home runs, and Jimmy Dunlap, fewest home runs with 176.
I mean,
When you
Josh had Kyle Schwarber and Juan Soto all year, so that'll do it.
Yeah. And Jimmy Dunlap, when you think about his draft, he started with Paul Skeens and then went Jackson Churio, who was both hurt and doesn't really hit a lot of home runs.
Right. I mean, 20 is kind of like what you're thinking as a ceiling for him. So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. As far as RBIs is concerned, I led the way with 828 RBIs this season. It was not a record. It was about 50 short of the record, but still quite a lot of RBIs. And Jason, you finished dead last in RBIs, man, 646.
Yeah, that tracks. I didn't have a lot of real boppers in the lineup, so that
Mhm.
makes sense.
Okay. Adam Lowenstein led the way with in stolen bases this year, 169 stolen bases. It's not a record, but it was interesting that his team leads the way, and he had Ellie De La Cruz in the first round.
Yeah, that's exactly where I was going.
Yep. My team was the fewest stolen bases, 83, not a record. That was set 4 years ago by Matt Losi, who had 37 stolen bases in a season.
Oof.
Yeah. Henry Collins led the way in walks, 681 walks in the season, with Mike Sherman bringing up the bottom, 464.
Wow.
Who
Okay.
was on Henry's team that walked so much? Because I mean, he didn't have Soto, he didn't have Schwarber, he didn't have Ian Happ, who gets a lot of walks, he didn't have a Nimmo, who gets a lot of walks. Was it
Uh,
Vlad?
Vlad, yeah. Um, let's see. Perdomo walked 94 times.
Wow, that guy is just ridiculous. I have
Yeah,
no idea where we're gonna rank him next year, but that is a really impressive
I
number.
will tell you that Yahoo right now has him ranked as the number one shortstop.
All right, I mean we're not doing that,
But like,
but he finishes as the number one shortstop. That's pretty ridiculous.
right, coming out of obscurity, like he was a part-time player last year.
Yeah, yeah. His job was at stake with Jordan Lawler coming up, and now Jordan Lawler's job is at stake because they need to sign a third baseman.
Yeah, unless they believe in Blaze Alexander.
I don't know about that. Fewest strikeouts in the league this year goes to, of course, Ben Nisman. 1076 is the total. It's not a record because there were a lot of teams way back in the day that didn't strike out very much. It's a different ball game now.
Yeah, everybody's
So,
striking out.
yeah. He now holds that record 2 years in a row. Actually struck out, what is that, 7 fewer times than last year. So that's something to
That,
hang his hat on.
that's an improvement.
Yeah. Bobby Russo struck out the most times, 1,390.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of strikeouts from Bobby this year.
Let's see. I'm gonna see who is the culprit. Gosh, say what you
O'Neal
want
Cruz.
About Nick Kurtz, 151.
Ooh,
Um, Rosarena, 191. O'Neal Cruz, 174. Nathaniel Lowe, 159. Yeah,
it's a lot of strikeouts.
yeah.
It's a lot of strikeouts. Fewest errors in the season. Ben Nisman gets to hang his hat on this. It is a season long record, only 32 errors ever. This lowers the record by 9. It was 41 a few years ago, done by Chris Levy.
Okay.
And this now breaks that record by 9. He has 32. The most goes to Mike Sherman, 83 errors on the season. Not a good look there.
Yeah, and I was right behind him with 80. So I'm actually surprised that I wasn't the most because I feel like every week I had 7 errors.
It hurts. It hurts
Yeah,
sometimes. The one thing I will say is that Rafael Devers probably gains a whole lot of value in the league because he's no longer going to be playing third base. And with this kid Bryce Eldridge coming up, maybe he's not even playing first base. He's just DHing.
DHing. Yeah, let him DH because he wasn't a very good first baseman either.
No. The best batting average on the season goes to Henry Collins, 266. It is the lowest best batting average we've seen ever.
And I think that kind of portrays what you said about the strikeouts. It's a different game now. Like I saw Trey Turner won the batting title with a 304 batting average. Like that's the lowest batting average by a batting champion in National League history. So
Mm-hmm.
like there you go.
Yeah. Bobby Russo had the worst batting average. He hit 245, which was league average this year. So all of the teams at least hit above or at league average. There's something to say for that.
Sure.
On base percentage also goes to Henry Collins, a 351 on base percentage. Brian Lebo with a 316 on base percentage. Stone cold and dead last.
Stone cold on base.
On the pitching side, Jason, you led the way with the. Oh no, it was Henry this year with 1,742 and 2/3 innings pitched. Jason, you had 2 years there, 22 and 23, where you led the way. Cody beat you out last year. Henry beat you out this year. We have seen a shift in strategy, have we not?
A little bit, although I do wonder how much of those innings came in the playoffs.
Oh, probably quite a bit.
Yeah, so I'll put an asterisk next to
Okay,
that.
fair enough. Bobby Russo, for the second year in a row, has the fewest innings pitched, 1374 and 2/3.
Hmm.
Cody Pyatt leads the way and wins for the second year in a row, 117 this year. It's not a record because, again, a lot of bad things happened in the past where guys are streaming 3 and 4 pitchers a day.
We want to
So
talk
we've
about
got we've got
that.
people who've won 140 some odd games in a season. That's a lot. That's a
Those were
lot of games.
those were the good old days.
Those were the good old days. Mike Haber actually had the fewest wins this year with 76.
Yeah, our favorite love-hate category.
Losses, Ben Nisman had the fewest with 79. We know he likes to stay away from those. And the most goes to Frank Bucco, 111.
Mm,
111 losses. Maybe we see a change in strategy from him next year.
you would think.
The saves category, of course, is a lovely one. Ben Nisman led the way, 126 saves. It's the fewest, most we've seen since Jay Ferraro back in like 2019 or 18 or 2017. That's the one. He had 115 that year.
Wow.
Yeah. The most ever is Ari Nisman, of all people, 196 on a season.
That was a change in strategy.
Exactly. Exactly. Chris Levy had 8 saves this year.
That's a big variance.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not a record because Dan Pearl once put up back to back seasons with only 1 save.
How is that possible?
Back to back seasons with only 1 save.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. That's not drafting a bullpen. Like, that is flat out not drafting a bullpen.
That is avoiding a bullpen like
Yeah.
on purpose.
Ben Nisman led the way in fewest home runs given up, 148. Ari actually is the champion of this stat. He is the only person to ever have fewer than 100 home runs in a season. He had 99.
What year was that?
2019, 2015. He was a
Interesting.
finalist that year.
Okay. Because I would think like, the current Ari with the way his strategy is, I would think that he would be around there now with, not having much of a pitching staff.
Hmm. Yeah, but the starting pitchers are more likely to give up home runs. They're there for
True,
longer.
true. But
Mhm.
the quantity isn't quite there, but I guess it's there enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Henry Collins led the way in home runs, 223, which speaks to him leading the way in innings. Like,
Yep.
you kind of pair those two together.
Sure.
Fewest walks given up is me this year, 608. And oh, I'm sorry, that's the most given up this year, 608. That's me. Fewest is Ben Nisman. It was
I
421.
was gonna say there's no way that Ben did not give up the fewest walks.
Yeah. Most strikeouts this year. That's me. 1,712 this year. Bobby Russo, 1,292, which again speaks to him not throwing as many innings.
Yep.
He's the problem with that strategy, though, is he's losing 2 categories.
Yeah, and you look, I'm right behind you, 1669 strikeouts. Again, there's some playoff strikeouts happening in there, so that obviously make the playoffs and it's a different story. But
Yeah. Yeah. ERA champion on the season is Ben Nisman. It's a 3.37. Well done, sir.
yeah,
It is not a record that was done by a guy in his one and only season. His name is Adam Costa. He threw to a 3.23 ERA across 22 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yep. The worst ERA goes to Chris Levy, a 4.21 ERA.
Look, for that to be your season ERA, like that's not terrible.
No, that's a four starter.
Yeah. It's not, I mean, it's not a six or something like that, right?
No, it's not. It's not atrocious. We've seen pretty bad ERAs kind of lead the way. The best worst ERA, if that makes sense, like the worst ERA of the season that was the best of these, is Alexander Eng, a 3.95. That was back in 2015. And with a shout out to Brian Lebo a few years ago, back in 2022, he had a 4.04.
Okay. And that led the league, huh?
That was the worst in the league, was a
That,
4.04.
oh, that was the worst. Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Best ERA was a 3.23 ever. We had a 3.32 by me back in 2022. This 3.37 by Ben is pretty close. Jay Ferraro had a 3.26 last year.
Yeah, I remember he pitched really well last year.
Yeah. Whip is Ben Nisman as well, a 1.14. Chris Levy, a 1.32 on the bad side.
They kind of went hand in hand, that those two categories.
Yep. Yep. And of course, our beloved relief appearances. Ari, of course, bringing up the back end with only 235. He went 0-22 in the category for the fifth consecutive season and has been the guy who brings up the rear in this category for 5 consecutive seasons.
And I'll say I'm right ahead of him, but I had 200 more.
Exactly. It's not even close. Like nobody's
Uh,
even playing this strategy. Congratulations to Mike Haber. He set a record for most relief appearances in a season, one shy of 600. You're gonna
Gonna
have to
get that
break.
last one, huh?
Yeah, we're gonna have to break 600 in a season in order to get this record now. 599 on the season for Mike. Congratulations, sir.
Well done.
Well done. Jason, it was a wonderful season. It was a really competitive year. I can't wait to break down quite a bit more with you on what we talked about on preseason shows this upcoming weeks. We are going to probably take a little bit of a break here, so we'll see you guys when we see you guys. But I appreciate you being here each and every week with me, my friend.
Absolutely. Look, this is something I enjoy. I enjoy this league. I enjoy what we do. And look, this show makes it just another level. It brings it to another level. And we have you to thank for that. And we have Ben to thank for this amazing community that we have. It's more than just a fantasy baseball league. It's the bigs.
It's the bigs. I can't wait to start talking off season. I'm so glad I get to be the reigning, defending, undisputed bigs champion for 2025. Thank you guys for playing with us and thank you guys for watching and listening. Until next time, guys, it's been real, it's been fun, and it is always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.